And here we are, the second to last match in this competition. Gamers Assembly 2019 is going into its consolidation final. We have these four players that are going to battle it out for the last two remaining spots in the grand final, where the top four of this competition are going to battle it out for the prize pool of €2,200. We have Dutchy, the Flying Dutchman from the Netherlands for Team Venture, battling it out against Tween from Slovakia for Team Sampi, Bren for Team Solary from France, and Symbiose, also from France, holding up the flag for Orcs GP. 120 points is going to be the time or the point limit here in this match. And with finalist mode, of course, as well. On top of that, 5 rounds per map. Point repartition will remain the same, 10, 6, 4, and 3. And without further ado, we are ready to witness an amazing match right here. The first map is going to be Rebellion by Kaisla. And it is absolutely impossible to tell who is going to be the victorious player. Dutchy has been showing an outstanding performance yesterday. It was unfortunately not quite enough to battle Pack and Kappa, who have already qualified themselves for the grand final. In the winner bracket final, Dutchy hasn't quite made it through. Bren has been playing a little bit on and off, but he made it to this point as well. Same for Tween, and Symbiose also doing a very, very good job here at keeping up with the top players of the scene. We are going into the first round here. 5 rounds on Rebellion, and here we go. Very, very good start here for Bren. Super precise around the corners right now. He is losing a little bit of time here in that left-hander, but still neck and neck here between all of the 4 players. Dutchy now having to release there a little bit. Went a bit too optimistically into that corner, so it will be Symbiose now taking over the lead. Tween with a bit more speed, passing Bren in this corner. And the positions will remain around the same here. Let's take a look at Dutchy, who is losing a little bit of pace here. He's now almost 0.4 behind, so Dutchy not with the fastest start here into this matchup. Tween on first. Tween always someone that has a really, really calm head, and he knows that now it really, really matters. And Tween for sure is going to be putting up some good fights. He is on his way to get the first 10 point here. Symbiose actually with a very risky line here, overtaking Bren at the end. And I think Dutchy actually went for the bonus finish here on the left side. So the first 10 pointer here for Tween with a solid time of 56.05. This is the Tween that I'm used to see. Great start for Sampi Tween. Round number 2. Pretty close here between all of the players. Bunch of smaller mistakes, but all in all, I think all of those 4 players are going to be at a very similar pace. So, let's see how this will evolve, especially with the bigger point limit of 120. Aye, Dutchy now! That was way too tight into that left wall he goes. Dutchy now with another very unfortunate beginning here into this match, leaving his opponents alone here on the track. Symbiose versus Tween here, fight for P1. Bren lurking in the shadows here. The cars are forced on, so Bren essentially does see both players in front of him actually battling it out here. And right now we see no position changes here. Very similar lines, very, very well played here by everyone. Now going into the very crucial hairpin. Symbiose and Tween getting the almost equal amount of speed here. Symbiose with a little bit of an upper hand, but he touches the wall on the left side. It will leave Tween alone in the lead here with Bren on second place, and these positions are most likely going to be untouched. It is Tween with another great time, 0.15. Also Bren with a 0.25. So these 2 players are going to clock in 10 and 6 points respectively. Symbiose with 4 and Dutchy with another bad round, only taking another set of 3 points. Tween really showing what he got inside of him. Usually in his matches that I have spectated, Tween was always having a little bit of a slow, cold, wonky start. But now it is actually looking very good for our Slovakian player, who is also the vice champion 2018, losing to his teammate Kappa in the grand final in absolutely insane fashion, where we had a quadruple finalist status. That was a match to always be remembered. Round number 3 is ongoing. It is Bren that is in the lead, and Dutchy has made another mistake. The 3rd consecutive mistake for our Dutch hero right here. So he is not really finding himself into the match as of now. making the next mistake here in a row. Bren is in the lead, Symbiose and Tween very, very close right behind. Bren, however, with a greatly executed left-hander. Now the last turn going to be important here as well. Bren most likely going to take it here, jumps very tightly and actually gets a time under 56 seconds. Bren with a really, really juicy time right here, 55.965. That is really, really nice. And Dutchy even with a DNF on top of that. Terrible, terrible start for the Venture player. Bren only being 0.3 away from the world record there. So he is definitely on fire, together with Tween and Symbiose, who are battling it out right here. Dutchy, as I said, not really able to make anything happen right now. He's still sitting there with 6 points. So, yeah, a very, very slow start for him. Hopefully he will be able to recover, maybe after this map. Maybe he just doesn't like this one too much. And also here, he is off to not the greatest of starts. Ooh, Tween very, very wide. Definitely had to let off the accelerator there. Otherwise, he would have gone straight into the outside wall. That will give Dutchy actually the opportunity to close in, and he actually does so with a very, very risky line here to the left side. A little bit of an oversteer here into the hairpin corner. Not going to give the best exit speed out of this one. Symbiose still remains on first place to fight for second place between Bren and Tween, but Bren gets a no slide. Will drop down to fourth place. Now the last jump. Everyone will make it here. It will be Symbiose with the next sub 56 time. Symbiose with a 0.97, Tween with a 19, and then it is Dutchy with a 0.5 and Bren with a 0.9. So this will for sure throw around the scoreboard a little bit here. The fifth and last round is now ongoing. Go, go, go. Between the four players. Tween with 30 points. Off to a good start this time around. Symbiose with 26. Bren with 23. And Dutchy with 10. Certainly needs to make something happen here. Not the greatest line for Dutchy once again. And he makes another mistake. Not very good for him. Bren is on a banger of a time though. Let's take a look here. Is he actually in the minus here at the checkpoint? Let's take a look here. +6. Alright, he's still on a good pace here. Tween has also made a little mistake. So Tween and Dutchy are both thrown back a little bit in this round. So it is a 1v1 here between Bren and Symbiose. However, with a gap of almost 0.2 of a second between them. So unless Bren gets a no slide here, which did happen to him in the previous round, which he avoids this time around, it will be a 10-pointer for Bren. And he will clock that in with a 56-11. Symbiose 1700s behind. And then we have Tween and Dutchy taking 3rd and 4th place respectively. Bren is moving up the scoreboard. It is a back and forth here between the top 3. Tween with 34, Bren with 33, Symbiose with 32, and Dutchy with 13. Very, very far back already after map 1. So, fingers crossed for Dutchy that he can find himself back and finally put up a fight against the other 3 opponents right here. Because he has not really been able to do any sort of damage right here. Not really any sort of impact that he could have put on the player's performance here. So maybe Tranquilo by Wouter, the map with the most difficult ending out of the map pack, is gonna shuffle the scoreboard a little bit around here. The top 3 being 2 points apart. That is just how close it is. And it shows that everyone really has what it takes to move on to the grand final and fight the 2 biggest favorites that are Pack and Kappa, that have already gotten to the grand final through the winner bracket final early on this afternoon in Poitiers, France, here at this LAN event. Gamers Assembly 2019 going into its 20th edition here actually. So a little bit of an anniversary here. And these players are fighting it out for the crown. Nice stunts by Symbiose. Sadly, no points for that. GLHF, fair play here by everyone, and we are gonna kick it off here on Tranquilo. The next map here in this match, in the Consolidation final. Let's take a look at Dutchy again. Will he be able to perform better here on this track? It will be hard to compete against the other players that have shown a really, really good performance in their previous matches. All of these players have a really, really sick pace here. Definitely able to also contest the big names that are Pack and Kappa. So right now, they're certainly showing that off. Everyone really, really close to each other right here. Dutchy right now taking over the lead. Symbiose stumbling a little bit over that inside. Gonna lose a little bit of time here. Lucky that he didn't throw himself out of the map completely. But right now he's not going to be able to make any sort of damage. Following Bren right here. He is on P3 right now. Dutchy and Tween right in front of him. The ending is going to be very decisive now. Venture, Dutchy still in the lead here, followed by Tween. Very, very risky line there, and Dutchy with a mistake on the outside there in giving Tween the opportunity to take home the 10 points, and he is actually the one that makes use of it. Great race there, only 1700s between first and third place here. Tween taking 10, Bren taking 6, Symbiose 4, and Dutchy after that unfortunate mistake. Very, very unfortunate for him. Again, only 3 points out of that round. Dutchy is losing it. Dutchy is losing it, and he's almost 30. What? I think Tween's keyboard just died again. Tween just went straight. TMGL memories? Tween just died? I hope he's going to be able to resolve the issues. But I'm pretty sure that was a keyboard issue again. We have seen that in the TrackMania Grand League already, where he was trying to qualify for the replacement seat for Sky, and then he just went straight into the checkpoint because, according to him, one of his arrow keys got stuck, and yeah, he just went straight as a result. So hopefully he's going to be able to fix that. Otherwise, we might have a little bit of a break. But we're going into the round here. It is actually Symbiose versus Dutchy right here. Bren has lost a little bit of pace right here. Now coming towards the ending. Symbiose still having a little bit of an upper lead right here. Dutchy now closing in. Clips the edge on the inside. And here's Bren now. Wants to have a saying as well. He goes for the low jump, but it's not enough. He pulls off a 360. But he was not able to snipe anyone right there in the last jump. A little bit lucky right there by Bren that he actually didn't die completely. So it will be Symbiose taking 10 points in front of Dutchy and Bren. Tween with that DNF seems to be fine. He writes go in the chat, so he will unfortunately drop down to second place in the total scoreboard. But yeah, hopefully that's not going to happen again. Let's go into round number 3. Let's follow Tween here. Very unfortunate for him. Hopefully it's not going to throw him out of his mindset, knowing that his keyboard can, you know, put him into the wall basically at any time. That's going to be pretty difficult, having that in the back of your head, you know. But this time around, it looks pretty good for him. It is actually Tween being in the lead here against Bren. Dutchy being a little bit behind, and also Symbiose not able to keep up with the pace of the front players. Symbiose now making another additional mistake here, so it will be between Bren and Tween fighting for the 10 pointers right here. Dutchy not able to make any difference here. He is too far behind, so it will be between Tween and Bren right here for the ending. Bren with a very risky line gets a lot of speed out of this one. Tween will be unable to make any difference right here, both getting the jump right here, and Bren with a really juicy time right here, 56.77. That is an absolutely enormous time right here. Only 0.25 seconds behind the world record by Kappa. So Bren is fast. Amazing performance by Bren, and with that, he's going to shoot himself up to first place in the total scoreboard right now. He is 3 points ahead of Tween and Symbiose, who are both tying with 50 points, but that was Bren now making an early mistake in one of the first corners, which is already going to be a massive throwback for him. He now needs to hope for some mistakes from the others, otherwise he will have to settle with a 3-pointer in round number 4 in this track. Dutchy, Tween and Symbiose still pretty close to each other. Symbiose going out a little wide here, looking to lose out on a little bit of speed right here. Tween with a comfortable lead of a 10th roughly here, going on to the blue part. Dutchy with an aggressive inside line. Symbiose letting off the accelerator just for a couple frames right there. Very close to the outside right here, but it looks like Tween is holding himself strong here on the first place. And now the ending. The ending is going to be a butt clench every single time the players are going to go through. Symbiose gets the bug right there, and it will be Tween with a 71. Jesus, these times. Mind-blowing time right there. Tween with no pressure whatsoever. Symbiose actually with a DNF, gonna cost him valuable points, and that will make him remain on position 3 with 50 points. Tween with 60 back in the lead, Bren with 57 going into the last round here. Tween with an absolutely disgusting time right there, only 2100s behind the world record in a full pressure situation like this. That is what I want to see from a player like Tween. Amazing performance. Last chance to make something happen here on Tranquilo by Wouter. Tween has taken an early lead right here, but everyone else is just right behind, smelling Tween's exhaust. Dutchy not able to come any closer right here. Let's take a look at Symbiose, who is going for the attack on Tween right here, going for the overtake here through the checkpoint. That's going to be a wide exit right there, but he was able to stabilize and was able to make the crash not happen. But Tween will... Oh, that is a risky line by Tween. Very, very tight around the hill, but he was able to stabilize. Bren now going for the attack here in the air, and he will actually go for position number 2, just in front of the ending. Bren with the overtake on Symbiose, and he will get 6 points with that. Tween with another 10, and Dutchy with another 3. Tween is back in business. Tween is back in business right here, and he is taking over the lead with a 7-point advantage over Bren. Tween with 70, Bren with 63, Symbiose with 54, and Dutchy still sitting there 31 points, already with a 29-point deficit. That is so difficult, just knowing that you're so far behind. It's really gonna play with your mind. So Dutchy in a very hairy situation, I would say, at this point. Our third map in this match is going to be Invictus by MD Point. Point limit is 120, so we still have plenty of rounds to be coming up right here. All of the players have their fair chances at making something happen, either in a positive or in a negative way, of course. This game is ruthless when it comes to small mistakes. So here we go into the warm-up. This is the map where a lot can happen here in the second half. We have seen plenty of mistakes here, plenty of different mistakes as well. So there's really a lot that can possibly ruin a player's round. Here at the end, very important to go wide enough in the drift before that so you get enough speed. And then you have the tent that you have to drive over, and you need to use the tent in a way that gives you a little bit of upwards momentum, because the tent is slightly banked. So you want to use the banking of the tent and give you a little bit of an extra height boost in order to make it to the finish. Round number 1, and off we go following Solary Bren. Risky line by Bren, and that was almost inevitable because that was an approach that was way too risky. Bren with the first mistake, huge stop. He's going to be multiple seconds down, and that's going to give Symbiose a good opportunity to come very close to Bren in the total scoreboard. In the optimal case, Symbiose wants the 10 pointers here. Tween still holding up a good fight, and also Dutchy is not too far behind. We have the freewheel section now coming up, including the left-hander, which is very important, and also important to get the proper setup for the last corner. Symbiose in the lead, followed by Tween, who are going for very similar approaches right here. Tween having the inside line, Tween jumping very far left, but he's not going to make it! Tween did not make the jump into the finish. It will be Symbiose that is going to take benefit from that. He is going to take the 10 pointers, and this is exactly what he wanted. Dutchy on second, Tween has went from first to third, and Bren, after that huge mistake, at least able to secure 3 points by crossing the finish line just before the timer ran out. Round number 2, and that is a huge mistake by Bren once again. He's actually out of the track. He will be a... Yikes. Oh no, Bren. Is he gonna try to unturtle? We have seen Pack in the winner bracket final try to unturtle. And... No, Bren, let's go! Whatever. Bren is dead. So is Dutchy, who makes a mistake in this very important section of the track. So it will be Symbiose most likely going to take another free 10 points right here, because 2 of his opponents have made massive mistakes, and Tween is more than 0.2 behind. Now, the only thing that can ruin Symbiose's 10 points is going to be the ending. Oh, he has pretty low speed! Yikers and a half right here. Tween almost sniping at the end. Symbiose not with the greatest ending there whatsoever, but he is still able to keep himself in front of Tween by 18 milliseconds. Very close. And that will be the next 10 pointer for Symbiose, enabling him to actually go up to second place. Symbiose now up to 74 points. Bren down to third after that DNF round. Bren needs to step it up now. These mistakes have all been avoidable. Sorry, dude. Going into the round. Let's just forget about what happened there. Dutchy finding himself on third right now. Tween with a little bit of an overslide. And Dutchy actually with that wide line accumulating a lot of speed. Has a lot of overspeed over the grass stretch. Now he's up to par and also carries that speed that he's got beforehand through the freewheel section. Dutchy up to P1. And we will have a 3-man battle going into the final set of corners right here. Tween, Dutchy, and Symbiose all super close to each other. Who is going to get the best ending right here? It will be Dutchy with the inside line. Tween risking it for the biscuit right there. Tween almost didn't make the jump, but it will be the 3 players being right here in the top 3. Dutchy with a .58 taking 10 points. Very important for him in order to come back at least a little bit in the scoreboard. Symbiose on second, Tween on third, and Bren on fourth. Bren is really losing it on this track. Not sure what's happening to him. But 3 consecutive mistakes right here for Bren is not going to bode well for his psyche. Round number 4. Here we go. This time Bren did avoid a mistake so far. Let's take a look at him. He certainly needs to make something happen because Symbiose was able to take so much benefit from his mistakes that Symbiose is now 11 points ahead of Bren again. Tween with 84. Looking to take another 10 pointer home here for his point account. He is 1400s ahead, and also this section is actually really well done here for Tween. He has accumulated a .24 lead over his opponents right now, so it looks like Tween is going to take the 10 pointer here. Bren trying to make something happen. Bren is coming a little bit closer, but I don't think it's going to make a decisive difference here at the end. Tween will make it with a 57, Bren taking second, Dutchy taking third, and Symbiose taking last. This will be the last round now on Invictus, and Tween is coming closer to the 100-point threshold. He's now 11 points ahead of Symbiose. Tween looking very decent here in this consolidation final so far. Risky exit right there by Bren. I thought he's maybe going to do it again, but this time around he was able to stabilize and remains on the track. Risky lines here by Bren. You can definitely see that he's not 100% confident with his lines. And right now, he's finding himself at the bottom of the food chain. Going through this important left-hander now. Bren getting the worst exit speed out of all of the 4 contestants. Tween on the first position right now, followed by Symbiose, who is going for the attack now. Got a little bit more speed down the freewheel part. 2 drifts remaining. Symbiose versus Tween. Symbiose with a little bit of an overslide right there. Tween will go away a little bit. Last jump coming up right now. It looks good for Tween. I take it back. That looked not so good for Tween. From first to third, 6 points lost with that. Dutchy taking 10, Symbiose taking 6, and Bren taking 3. The Casa Curse is really strong today. I don't know what this is, but it's really strong. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. We are going on to the next map. It is still moderately close between the players right here. It is a 20-point gap between first and third. And then it is Dutchy that is already finding himself 33 points behind the leader. So Dutchy kind of out of it already. Unless all planets align in one line. Then he can maybe make something happen. But otherwise, it is looking pretty good for Tween. Symbiose and Bren can definitely battle it out. Will be heavily map dependent at this point, I would say. And Exhale, which is the duo map by Bastimon and Wouter, will be pretty crucial at some points. So, let's see. One of the easier tracks. And a good-looking warm-up here for Tween and for Dutchy. Here we go into the next one. The closer we get to the point limit, the more important the rounds are going to be. Point limit is 120, and then, of course, there's going to be the infamous finalist mode that might play a very crucial role for the players. Here we go into the first round, following Tween right now. The Slovakian player, as I said, vice champion of 2018. Experienced as hell. And right now, he's leading the pack. However, he's being chased down in a hot pursuit by Symbiose, who is going for some risky approaches right here. This chicane, very, very difficult to get right. No mistake by any of the players going into the platform section now. Tween still being in the lead here. Dutchy, Bren, and Symbiose super close to each other, but then Bren getting a little bit of a nose slide right there, losing out on a lot of speed. So he's going to be out of this one. Also, Dutchy now making a mistake. Touches the pole here ever so slightly on the inside, so it will be between Tween and Symbiose. Symbiose trying to go for the attack on the inside, but it won't be enough to go for the overtake, even though Tween jumped almost too high. Yet, he will secure the 10 points, and he will go up to 108 points. $108 points for Tween, 95 for Symbiose, 82 for Bren, and Dutchy with 68. The gaps between the players are getting bigger and bigger. And Bren with an absolutely horrendous start. Not sure what happened there, but he missed every single line. Already 0.5 behind in the first 20 seconds of the track. Bren certainly feeling the pressure at this point. He knows that he needs to get some big points against Symbiose. Otherwise, it won't look too good for the qualification into the grand final. Oh, big mistake by Symbiose. This could be a chance for Bren, but he made that mistake early on, so this was also a lost opportunity for Bren here to come a little closer to Symbiose, who is multiple seconds behind. Let's take a look here at the fight for first. It is Tween versus Dutchy, who is going to get the big boy 10-pointer right here. It looks like Tween is going to take it. He gets a very low jump through the finish, and he finishes with a 53-53. Dutchy, 1400s behind, gets good 6 points, but it is still a long way to go for Dutchy here at this point. Tween now with 118 points, only needs to finish in the next round, and he will be a finalist. There is nothing to lose for Tween. He only needs to finish, but of course, as always, he can go and deny some points for his opponents. Symbiose has not crossed the 100-point barrier, but also for him, if he finishes, he will do so. Tween is taking an early lead right here, going into the mid part now. This chicane, as I said before, is crucial to hit, and it will be Bren that almost made contact on the left side, but he's able to remain on the track and keep his speed intact. A little bit of a two-inside approach here. Symbiose going out wider, keeps more speed. Ooh, losing grip on the grass right there by Symbiose. Still able to recover pretty well right here. Tween still on P1 right here, looking pretty good for him. Dutchy on second place, most likely not going to make anything happen right here, especially with this wonky approach into the last corner. Still able to take second. Bren on third, and it is... Wait, where did Symbiose go? Ay, ay, ay. Symbiose missing the finish or something. That was a little bit of a wonky ending for him. Only 3 points for him, and that will enable Bren to come at least 1 point closer. Tween, first finalist attempt. And he has a lot of chances, and he gets the bump over the first hole. He gets the bump over the first hole, but he's not out of it yet. He can see his opponents in front of him, and Tween has nothing to lose at this point. He's going to push it, and I know that. Here we go. Sappy Tween now going for really, really aggressive lines, and he's already up to the top again. Very clutch round here so far. Impossible to tell who's going to take it. Tween losing out on a bunch of hundreds right here. A little bit of a wonky approach by him. Dutchy taking over first place. Symbiose and Bren also very close by. Going onto the grass section now. Everyone avoiding the wall. Everyone avoiding the grass as well. First mistake by Bren. He's going to be out of this one. Tween, Dutchy, and Symbiose only 600s apart from each other. The last turn is going to decide it here. Tween with the inside line. Tween is going to go out very right, but he's going to get the low jump. And Tween is done. Tween will qualify for the grand final with an absolutely insane ending that he pulled off there. 53-44. Has absolutely maxed out the last turn. Has gotten the lowest possible jump into the finish line. And Tween is done. What a man. What a man. He recovered so well after that small mistake that he has gotten in the beginning. Tween showing balls of steel. So Tween will be joining his teammate Kappa and Gamers Origin Pack in the grand final of the Gamers Assembly 2019. Round number 5, the last one here. Symbiose now losing out on a lot of speed right here. Dutchy now with a mistake. It will be between Symbiose and Bren. Symbiose being the closest one to finalist mode. He needs 2 rounds at least to make it happen. And right now it looks like he's going to get the 10-pointer. Bren lost a lot of speed here coming towards the last turn. And Symbiose will make it happen in a good fashion. 53.492 for OrcsGP, Symbiose, Bren on second, and Dutchy on third. Symbiose up to 117 points, Bren still with 99, and Dutchy with 88. It is looking grim for Bren and Dutchy. Our last map of this Consolidation final is going to be Poitiers by Thompson. After one warm-up, we will find out whether Symbiose is going to make it a clean sweep. If he's going to finish it off in the smallest amount of attempts possible, which would be 2. He needs 1 more finish to become a finalist and then a first place to seal the deal, to make it over and out, and to eliminate Bren and Dutchy out of this competition. And essentially qualifying himself for the last available slot in the grand final. The prize money is high. 2,200 euro are going to be played out between the top 4 in the grand final, which will be played at 8 PM CST, live on stage in Poitiers, France, at the Gamers Assembly, the 20th edition, here in 2019, at this beautiful sunny Easter weekend. Very promising looking warm-up here for Bren and Symbiose. That is going to bode well. Here we go with the first round on Poitiers. Symbiose simply needs to finish, and he will be a finalist. Bren will be sitting there with 99, so in case he wins 2 rounds, he's going to be having the slap in the face 119-point situation. This is not very good mathematically for Bren. Let's see what's going to happen here going into the first round. Good start for Symbi. No. But he just needs to finish. So, not really too much of a biggie. Bren is taking first here with a good margin over Dutchy. More than 0.2 between them. Not really too exciting of a round here. Pretty anticlimactic. Bren gonna take very important 10 points. Dutchy most likely with 6. Ooh, Dutchy actually with a wall touch. Maybe Symbiose might be going for the overtake since Dutchy is forced to go for the bonus finish. But Symbiose jumped so low. I don't know what he expected from this. That was almost a throw. He almost threw away the free ticket into finalist mode. But he did it. So Symbiose will be going into his first finalist attempt. Here we go. All eyes on him. Everyone off to a good start. This exit is going to be important. Bren almost making contact with the wall on the outside. That was really risky. All of them are still in the race. Symbiose has made a mistake here. This time he avoids it and he finds himself just a couple of centimeters in front of his opponents. Dutchy already a little bit behind. Makes a mistake. He's out. So it will be Bren, the only one that can deny Symbiose the victory here. Bren needs to go all in. There's nothing he can lose here. Ooh, great line by Symbiose, though. That is going to make it even more difficult for Bren to make anything happen. However, Bren is risking it. Bren is going for the overtake and passes Symbiose in the left-hander, but he makes a mistake. He makes a mistake. And this is the free ticket into the grand final for Symbiose. And he will do so with a 54-28. Bren had the chance to prolong this match, but he threw it away. And Symbiose will be the last one to qualify for the grand final in the Gamers Assembly 2019 Tech Tournament. Bren and Dutchy are out. GG.